Norman Lear. He's at the NBC studios in Burbank. And he's later with Greg Kinnear.
Wondering if we can still sneak in a TV guide like a guy standing in the 10 items only line with 11 items in his basket. This is later. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. My name is Greg Kinnear, and is it just me, John, or has it been staying light out about an hour more than usual lately? It has, hasn't it? Okay. I knew it wasn't me. A few media bites for you here at the top of the show, folks. These are little bits and pieces of the news for your perusal. Congressional hearings were held today in Washington to investigate the charge that tobacco companies are enhancing the nicotine content of cigarettes. CEOs from all the major tobacco companies were called before the committee, and Congressman Ron Wyden, I believe, from Oregon, had this question for the angels of death. I mean, the tobacco executives. Take a look at this, if you would, please.
I think each of you believe nicotine is not addictive. We just would like to have this for the record.
I don't believe that nicotine or our products are addictive.
I believe nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
And I too believe that nicotine is not addictive.
You know, I was wondering what happened to the jurors from the Menendez trial, and now later, the executives lost even more credibility when several of them tried to smoke their microphones. You do that, and you're pretty much busted, aren't you? The big, beautiful bucks keep coming Nancy Kerrigan's way. My goodness, in addition to her numerous spokesperson gigs around the country, Mattel announced yesterday that they're coming out with a Nancy Kerrigan doll this fall. Exciting, I know. I smell a stocking stuffer. I don't know about you folks. Take a look at this, if you would.
Mattel is releasing this photograph of Nancy posing for a doll designer. There is no actual doll yet, but there will be, Mattel says, by fall. And in case you were wondering about wardrobe, wonder no more. The first doll will be wearing a little gold number, copied from the one the real Nancy wore on the ice in Lillehammer.
Yeah, isn't that great? Unfortunately, bloodstained decals are sold separately. But it does come with a little teeny-weeny lead pipe in there for you, so that'll be nice. Let me ask you something. What possible better way to relax than to watch a show where grown men kill grown animals? Hunting shows, folks. People love them. They love them real good. We found these two guys right now discussing their day on the satellite show called The Sportsman Showcase with your friend, and I believe mine as well, Ken Tucker. Let's take a look at that.
Wasn't that a beautiful buck?
He had to be out there, Ken, 450, maybe 500 yards. That's not a long shot. I wouldn't take that shot with a 300 Magnum.
Well, there's a front coming in, gonna storm. We gotta head back. I gotta go to deep south and you the northeast, but it's been a wonderful trip and one I won't forget with you and John.
That's great, people. I'm glad John got a chance to use his. That 7 Magnum really did the job on that deer.
Well, 1994 is gonna be the year of the savage.
Year of the Savage. Now, you see, I thought 1994 was the year of the moronic white guys in orange hats, but apparently it's the year of the Savage. Wow. It is really quiet in here. Finally tonight, it's time for our weekly international exit on the information superhighway. This time for some yoga news out of New Delhi, India. That's right, a little yoga news for you folks. Here's the story of a 10-year-old girl who has used the ancient relaxation technique to become the Super Dave Osborne of New Delhi.
A 10-year-old girl from India sits there and waits patiently as a man uses a sledgehammer to smash cement blocks placed on her stomach.
And then you'll see here she's run over by a van.
What can I tell you? The only good news here is that with all the publicity, she apparently has scored a good summer job. She'll be working as an orange highway cone. So that's the only uplifting news I can give you. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with Mr. Norman Lear. Don't go away. We're back. Every night here in the studio, we pass out cards to the audience and ask them for suggestions to, as the card says, make this the best damn show in the whole world. And we thought tonight we'd take a look at a few of their suggestions in a little segment that we call, appropriately enough, Audience Suggestion Box. So here we go, folks. Sit back. Few suggestions from you people. First up from William Newman. This is kind of interesting. Glendora, California is where William resides. Put a salad and dessert bar in the lobby. Okay, all right, sure. Sure, that's your first reaction. We're not even going to consider the dessert bar after what happened with the salad bar here just the other night. It was bathing suit night. I made the mistake here in the studio of saying, instead of form a single line and be considerate to the other patrons, chow's on, dig in. The studio audience member, they went nuts. And we had to rule that one out. No more salad bar for you people. Fred Lanciano from Marlton, New Jersey. This was kind of an interesting suggestion that had better results. Mail cheese sandwiches to all members of key demographic groups. And this actually turned out pretty well. John and I got together, and we actually had some success with this.
I don't know if it's going to work, Fred.
Don't be ridiculous. Fred wouldn't have suggested it otherwise. Now, pack. We got to have these at the post office by 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you. Check your mail. Turned out very well. This one from Bob Landgrove in Washington, D.C. This was kind of a crazy idea. Have valet parking for the studio audience. Let me tell you something. We tried this on the night that we had, who was it? Mary Lou Henner? We had disastrous results with a capital D. So, Mary Lou, you shot this commercial 20 years ago. I mean, do you still remember that whole experience?
I did it with such pain because they built this stairway for me of luggage, and I kept saying, you know, I think that second suitcase is going to pop open at some point. And they went, no, 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 no. Keep walking down. This is because I did 2 commercials, and the other one I walked down the stairway of luggage. Sure enough, about the 4th take, the suitcase popped open. I went flying, bounced down all the suitcases. Was in agony. Had to have a doctor come and give me a shot in my hip. And we shot 2 commercials over 26 hours straight. But they gave me a nice set of luggage so that I wouldn't sue.
She never even knew I was gone, as it turns out. Finally, this one just came in from Eleanor Kakera from Moscow, Pennsylvania. Have talent night where you ask for a volunteer from the audience. I guess we got a little time here. Does anybody want to volunteer for talent night? Yeah, you, sir. You, sir. You want to try something? Sure. Well, what do you do? What's your talent?
I do a Charles Nelson Reilly impression.
All right. Knock us out. Go crazy.
Oh, Mrs. Muir! Oh, Mrs. Muir!
That is the worst Charles Nelson Reilly I've ever seen. Down. That is the worst Charles Nelson Reilly I think I've ever seen. And there it is. Suggestion box night. Thank you. Okay. Doesn't even look like Charles Nelson Reilly. My guest tonight was nominated for an Academy Award for writing the film Divorce American Style, and he's won 4 Emmys for his work in television. In case you've never seen his television, or television for that matter, his list of shows includes All in the Family, Maude, Good Times, One Day at a Time, Mary Hartman, and the brand new 704 Hauser Street. He's the man that put the JJ in Jimmy J.J. Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, Norman Lear.
Never better.
Where can I get me one of them hats?
I didn't want anybody to know I didn't have hair.
Oh!
And I blew it, but I was going to offer you this.
Let me tell you something. Let me try it on here. Let me
like to see it.
A shot. What do you think, huh? Well, first of all, what's going on here on the inside?
A little makeup.
Got a shot of that? What's happening here? Ah.
Is that
okay? Yeah. Do you think people will take me seriously with
So you did All in the Family, Maude, Mary Hartman.
Let me tell you, best years of my life. Oh, my. You know, let me say that Norman Lear, a legend, producer, director of so much great television, but I don't want to overlook your entrepreneurial triumphs of your younger years. In fact, we have here the Demi Tray, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Demi Tray. When did you come out with this?
I was 25 years old.
Explain, if you would, what the Demi Tray is.
My God, there's one missing.
Yeah, well, we have it over here just to show exactly what it is.
The Demi Tray. Well, there's a wonderful... I was 25 years old. I got a patent, a design patent on this. No more ashes in the cup. Can you read that? No more ashes in the cup. You can bring the... You have to understand, this is at a time when everybody smoked. Doesn't seem like we've...
You really...
In one lifetime, we could have been through this,
You've got to sell it, Norman. It's the Demi Tray. It's not only different, it's new. In smart silver plate, distinctive design and ideal for the hostess. A practical measure for smoking pleasures.
So she takes the little clip-on ashtray, puts it on the coffee saucer, brings it out this way so that nobody... You see, this was a terrible habit in those years. People did this all the time.
Right.
But they didn't have a Demi Tray. And then a man came along and invented the Demi Tray.
Beautiful.
And one Christmas, hostesses all over the country were able to... That's true.
Yeah. Did you smoke at the time?
Yes.
Oh, you did. You still smoke?
I do not smoke.
Oh, okay, give me the Demi Tray. You're done with this then. Tell me about your new show. It, I guess, premiered Monday. It is called
704 Hauser Street.
Yeah, tell me about the show.
And it stars John Amos, pound for pound, one of the great comic actors of our time, and three people we haven't seen that much of on television, the wonderful Lenny Godfrey and Maura Turney, and A.J. Russell.
Right.
He's a liberal father who, a veteran of the civil rights battles of the 60s, who named his only son after his great hero, Thurgood Marshall. Unfortunately, the young man is growing up to be much more in the philosophic, political image of Clarence Thomas.
Oh, that can't be good for the home life.
It doesn't help the dishware.
And actually, the 704 Hauser is the old. That's Archie Bunker's house. Right. You created All in the Family, and this is their house. How did you come up with the idea to move them into this home?
From two sources. One, an accountant who kept badgering me twice a year as to why I insisted upon paying storage for the All in the Family sets. But that was so much my dad's chair and an ambiance I lived through growing up in my father's house. I could not, and have not yet, destroyed it.
Here's a scene from 704 Hauser, father and the son that just don't seem to see eye to eye.
No, now wait, folks. Look at this. Rangers versus Red Wings, 6th row, center ice.
Gee whiz. What fun. A hockey game. Why don't we all put on our cardigans, pile into our Range Rover, but be sure to lock the doors when we drive through the colored neighborhood.
What are you trying to say now? Hockey is white?
Why, heavens no, son. Why would I ever say that? Just because black people don't play it, we don't announce it, we don't referee it, we don't even watch it. Gonna be two things in the garden that's black today. You and the puck.
John Amos playing the part of Ernest Cumberbatch. Where did you come up with the name Ernest Cumberbatch, Norman?
I went to school. I can't remember PS something. We lived in Brooklyn. I was born and raised in Connecticut. But we lived in Brooklyn for a year. And I went to PS something with a wonderful kid by the name of Elmond Cumberbatch. And I never forgot that name. I've loved that name.
Take a quick break. Right back with Norman Lear. Don't go away.
Charlotte, I was just in the powder room. And do you know what I found?
No, ma'am.
I found this lint ball on one of the guest towels.
The Colgate Comedy Hour.
Dean and I especially love the crew. They've been so kind. I pour my heart out to them because they're wonderful
I'm sorry,
to me.
is
and I
everything
love
all right
them.
in there? Now, King, I'm sorry, Mr. Lewis, but we
This
seem
is
to...
Mr. Lear, one of our crew members. And
Are we all right? I'm sorry, Mr. Lewis, but something's going wrong in there. We're off the air.
we're off the air. What do you mean we're off the air? How are we off the air? How does a thing like this happen? How do we get off the air for nothing?
The variety television. You don't see much of that anymore.
I can't tell you how much I miss variety television.
In the golden era, first of all,
golden era for me was the golden era, but also all the years with Carol Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see variety back on television.
Yeah, what made one of those shows really work? I mean, why do you suppose that they aren't around? I mean, there must be some chemistry that was happening back then that isn't happening now.
Well, when that show, we were up at 8 and off at 9 live.
Right.
We had 16 dancers. We had changes of sets 4 or 5 times in the course of a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the excitement of live television was not, there's just no substitute for it.
Eddie, make a note to get us 16 dancers. Just do anything to spice up the show. Let me ask you, I know that you've done a lot of television. You also have had some experience in film. Come Blow Your Horn. In fact, you got Frank Sinatra to join you in this particular movie. How did you bamboozle Frank into this movie?
Well, this was Neil Simon's first play,
right,
and the only one he didn't write the movie script of. I wrote that and produced it with my partner at the time, Bud Yorkin, who directed it. But Frank Sinatra was the only person we could possibly think of to play that role.
Now, where was he in his career at this point?
He was Frank Sinatra.
He was Frank Sinatra.
Oh yeah, and had been for some years.
Okay. You know, he still is Frank Sinatra, I might add.
Yes, and has been for some years. And Hal March had played the play.
Yeah.
We wanted Frank Sinatra. There really was not a second choice, never was a second choice. And so we started to try to get him to read the script. It was impossible to get Frank to read the script.
And where are you in your career? Are you somebody that can just pick up the phone, call him like that?
No.
Okay.
We were doing pretty well. We'd done a lot of television specials, all live. This was long before All in the
So
Family.
it'd be a big deal to get him to even consider it.
A very big deal. But I bearded him once when he was doing a special with Judy Garland. But by the time, he used to call me the Helmet because I looked like I was wearing a helmet.
There we go, back with the hat thing again.
So he would see me coming in a door and yell, "The Helmet's here." And I don't even know if he knew my name.
By the way, was that a compliment he was paying you?
I had to take it that way.
Yeah, right, correct.
So just to live with myself. These are the things we did. The script was originally called Cock-a-Doodle-Doo. We sent him a crate of turkeys. We had a Marine band at his gate one morning playing for him as he came out. We had Frank Sinatra, Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, written in the sky. And this was the thing that didn't turn the trick. The final, ultimate was, we decided we would send him a reading kit to help him read it. Now, this man had not yet read the script.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a truck pull up to the warehouse at Paramount. We laid down a carpet on the truck. In the corner, we put a stand and a lamp.
Sure.
And an easy chair and an ottoman. We had everything, the whole corner of a room, everything he would need to enjoy reading this script. And we had the truck and the drivers take it out to his place. And we told him, if there's nobody around, put it as close as you can to the house and take the longest cord you can, plug it in, and make sure the light is on when you leave.
Right.
Well, they came back and said, we put it on the lawn, and as we were leaving, it was dusk. Nobody was there. And there was on the lawn this, the rug, the easy chair, the ottoman, the coat hanger with the album of, with a smoking jacket, album of Jackie Gleason's music to read about. Everything was set there.
What more does the guy need, you're thinking at this point?
Then I wait 2 days, and I figured the man hasn't, if he hasn't got a sense of humor and doesn't take this, and I don't hear from him now, so, and I don't. 2 days, 3 days go by. I call his agent, and I say, this is absolutely the crazy, I cannot believe the man did not react to this. He said, what? And I tell him what we did.
Right.
And he said, that's not Frank Sinatra. He would, if he knew about this, he would get back. I said, it was his house. There's no doubt about what we did, how it looked when we left, et cetera, et cetera. He calls me back a day and a half later, and he says, this is what happened. Frank was out of town that day. The staff came home at 8 o'clock at night or something. They saw this setting out there. They thought it had been a delivery. They hung the smoking jacket up among a dozen other items. They put the music away. They put the chair away. They rolled up the rug and put it away. Frank never found it.
But you got him anyway.
But we got him anyway.
That's the good news. We'll be right back with Norman Lear. My God. We're back with Norman Lear. One quick question. We don't have a lot of time left. There's not a czar of television, but if there was a czar of television, you were appointed this position, what sort of changes would you make on our horizon? There's a quick question.
What would I do? If I were the czar of television, I'd quit.